Hello and welcome to Daytona International Speedway. It has been a little while, but we are back. It's the AutoNation 400 under the lights at Daytona for round 12 of 21 races in the USARC AutoNation Cup Series season. It's crunch time now. We're over halfway. It's 4 races left to the chase. Really interesting storyline this weekend specifically is the SSR dominance, so at least amongst their full-time fleet in qualifying. Really interesting to see, and it's quite a valuable position to be in. Just 4 races out from the chase.
Yeah, those SSR Fords are always dominant on these plate tracks, and we're at Daytona. Anyone in this field could come away with the win today, from the pole sitter to hell, even the guy starting in 42nd. So a lot of interesting things could happen tonight.
Certainly, Benedict Murdo specifically of the SSR cars is on pole. Cameron Brennan to his outside, and then it's the 10 of Luke Evans and the 11 of Roach Rotfield running off your 2 roads. If we have a look through the field ahead of today's race, it's Awesome Billion, Reese Kupski in the row behind, and good qualifying from Daytona Motorsports as well. There you can see Vargas, Cologne, and Spurley Tube all towards the front. White Wilkinson with a decent qualifying as well, filling in for Joe Zola at 64. And this is an interesting one to talk about. The 08 there of Lotus Disperito in the 08 for Toyota Gazoo Racing. However, after this season, it will not be Toyota Gazoo Racing, and it will be a completely different team in general. Complete rebrand into Team Yamaha.
Yeah, that'll definitely be an interesting one next year to see what they'll do with Team Yamaha. And as far as we know, Disperito is returning in the 08, so they'll have a good rock of a driver to lead that organization.
Yeah, Disperito returning in the 08, possibly renumbered. We're not entirely sure on details yet from Team Yamaha. Nicholas Santiago, however, he's jumping ship to Full Send Racing, who have really got a stellar lineup. They've signed Derek Petty as well to their Cup program, alongside Luna Bennington. That should be a really competitive lineup. Daniel Voiles, his future remained in the balance. It's unknown if he's returning to Team Yamaha. He has been connected to RGR, replacing Awesome Billion, so that could be a really interesting place for him to end up. As we look further through the field, a decent qualifying for 555 there. You can see Aiden Smith in the 89, looking likely as if he's going to return next season, but not yet confirmed. Brian Grigsby, he's returned. He's confirmed back in for next season as well. As Clockman won in the 62 this week for Fallout Racing, as Will Parrish in the 05 this week for 555, and then your Katerina Sullivan over in a 00. Just a few of your part-time or rotational entries this week. And I have to say, fairly ordinary qualifying. A lot of cars you'd expect to be at the back, running at the back of the field.
Yeah, a lot of those unsponsored entries running at the back. They'll be hoping to get a good finish to maybe attract some sponsors onto their cars.
Well, as long as they're able to keep up with the pack, they're in with a shot. We'll have to see what the field spread's like as well. This is the first time we've come to Daytona with these cars, having a decent amount of upgrades on. We've got 56 laps ahead of us under the lights, only 4 short of what we did for the Daytona 500 just a few months ago. So I believe the pre-race festivities are finishing up, and we are ready for the command here at Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona. The command is a moment away.
Drivers, start your engines!
There we have it, the field of 42 roaring to life. Your top 10 in the starting grid. It's Murdo and Brennan, as we've already mentioned, and then Rotfield and Evans, rows 1 and 2. Just behind them, it's Awesome Billion with a very decent qualifying, a qualifying that he needs, alongside Reese Kupski. Christian Vargas last won here at Daytona in the Big 500 earlier this season. He's not returned to victory lane since. And Carter Swab, who's having a quietly decent season to his outside, he is his teammate at Daytona Motorsports next season. Luna Bennington and Stephen Colon rounding off the top 10. Bennington, your points leader, leading by 7 over Disparito heading into this race. Colon is someone who could really do with a win here just to at least secure that wild card spot in a worst case scenario. He's been very consistent, but he could just do with a win to really solidify that chase run. So could Vargas. Already got a win. He could do with a decent result. Burley could do with a win. He's never won ever in USARC. Will today be the day? Will today be the day for many people in this field?
Yeah, and it's really hard to bet against these Fords. They have the strength and numbers up at the front of this field with, it looks like, 6 of them in the top 10, and then just behind the 8. That's the 7th Ford, so they'll be up front all day long, I fear.
Well, it is almost time here in the field, rounding off turn 4. Crowd are on their feet. USARC is back for the second half of the season. Ace car is in, and the AutoNation 400 round 12 of 21 is underway.
Really good jump by Murdo. You saw the 88 of Carter Swab duck out. He's back in line now.
And he's still on that outside, which didn't get the greatest of starts. Brennan just did not get that car fired up, and it's Rotfield punching his way into second already, looking slightly underneath the 01 as they come off of turn 1 for the first time.
And Roche Rotfield keeps it under the 01 of Murdo, looking to take the lead early on. Now they're 3 wide, as here comes Billion looking for the lead.
And he's going to be pushed by Christian Vargas, your previous winner at Daytona. He's going to clear the field. Can he lead lap 1, or will Vargas have something to do about that? He's going to look inside, but I think lap 1 lead is going to go to the 52. That was close.
Nearly cutting off the bumper of the 0, but he'll lead that lap as now Vargas charges hard to the inside of Orson Billion into 1.
I think unlike the day race we had, the Daytona 500 here earlier this season, I think we're going to see a bit more shuffle racing. And there were some slight tweaks to the plate package after a very violent series of crashes last race at Daytona. And Luna Bennington was involved in one of them. He now takes the lead, your points leader, to the point here on lap 2.
Luna Bennington has had a strong season all year long and is going to return to the 4 next year. They're just hoping they can close out with the title this year.
I mean, there's still potential for her to do the double in APS as well. She's had a really good season there after not really expecting, or not originally intending to run full-time in that series at all. However, circumstances changed, and Luna Bennington bushwhacking this season. They are 4 wide. Here comes Lexi Herman, someone who really do with another win after that D&Q earlier this season to punch her ticket into the chase. She's underneath Daniel Voiles, and they weren't 4 wide for very long either.
And speaking of drivers that are really good in the APS, looking... Oh, the 22! Jacques Rigel has an issue!
That strikes me like it could be a tyre. No smoke coming out, and that's going to really jeopardise the integrity of this pack. But that's huge for his chase aspirations as well. Oh, and maybe he's not making it back. I wonder if we'll see a yellow here, because he is not making it back to the pits. You can see them racing off. It's now Cologne to the lead, and he's stopped on track. Jacques Rigel. We're going to see a yellow. It doesn't look like it, no. Very interesting indeed. And it spread this field out massively.
Stephen Colon is now your race leader. He's got the 2 FSR Toyotas behind him, Bennington and Kupski. And Reese Kupski could really use a good run here. He's had a horrible season so far, and he was looking for just anything to right the ship.
One of the more iconic driver-sponsor combinations in the sport, that number 40 Reese's car. And he's going to try and make a move for the lead here. This little group of 6. Thing is, if the rest of the field behind can bunch up, will they be quicker? Is my questioning. Because these guys are all the way lined up, all the way down to what is now 41st, currently occupied by Daniel Sels of Breeding Enterprises. And Miguel is still on pit road. I feel like that's a tyre issue. We'll get some more information when we can. These guys are getting a little bit leery here. 4 wide.
As it looks like, yeah, there goes Evans, 4 wide.
Oh, watch out, guys. A little bit of contact there.
They've been known to get a little more wild at this night race. They're not afraid to just throw it in there sometimes.
I think with where we are in the season as well, it's part of your instinct if you're looking into the chase to be a bit more risky, even at a plate track. Someone who doesn't shy away from those risks is Benedict Murdo, currently second in line in this pack, just helping his teammate both in front and behind. However, now he pulls out with help from Aiden Smith and Nicolas Santiago. And Smith's now going to try and occupy the lead of this pack. The gap between the rest of the field and these guys up front did come down ever so slightly on that lap, but still too early to tell if these guys can hold this 3.5 second gap.
I mean, if you are in the top 6, you just got to be chilling right now. You're pretty far away from the second pack, so I wouldn't really see the need to race each other up here. They're 4 wide again. Brian Grigsby to the inside of Carter Schwab.
Oh, Grigsby on the apron there slightly.
There may have been contact.
Yeah.
It looks like McKenzie's gonna look to the inside of Schwab. No, he's gonna get back down. But Grigsby again.
Oh, and that's a risky place to go 4 wide. Fair play to Blair McKenzie, letting the 88 back in line there. Really saved us from an early accident, or at least a big accident possibly as well, early on. The top 6 pulled away by 0.2 of a second on that lap, interestingly. Kupski still leads. He looks quite secure at the moment. They're going to go 4 wide again. Carter Schwab really squeezing the 07. Well, I don't like this at all. They're going to touch.
They're gonna touch. Looks like Whitmer's gonna go to the inside of this now, but it looks like they're gonna get that all sorted out. And you just gotta wonder how many times you can keep throwing it 4 wide before eventually it turns into a wreck.
They lost a lot of time on that lap. I think this messing about with the 4 wide is not helping their cause at all. When these guys can just sort of shuffle between themselves and they're able to pull away for some reason. Another big piece of news we missed in the pre-race, Justin Whitmer is retiring and BPM is shutting down at season's end. So that means Swab, Greeman, Derek Petty, they've all got to find a new ride for next season. And they all have, to be fair to them. But Justin Whitmer, your reigning champion, will be sorely missed in the paddock next season. And we do wish him the best of luck wherever he ends up. And I'm sure he will have a very strong finish to this season, and there will be some sort of festivities or celebration of his career come Homestead.
Oh yeah, definitely. Justin Whitmer is one of the most decorated drivers in the garage. He has a handful of wins. He's got those championships, and he will definitely be missed among those in USARC. He's definitely a name that you will remember when it comes to USARC. There are 4, I think. Yeah, they're 4.
Dustin Strew, Roberto Crown Jr., the 52 of Awesome Billion. I think Sui. He's going to try and let the 46 in line. He does.
They were bouncing off each other for a bit there.
And Romashko's now going to take the lead of this pack, who are slowly losing ground on these guys. Rigel's back out. He is 4 laps down, so he needs at least 1 yellow, preferably 4 to get back on the lead lap. At the moment, that car is up to speed, so it's definitely likely to be a tyre issue that struck down that number 22 machine.
The big issues early for Jacques Rigel. That is not what you want to see at a plate track, to fall off the draft like that.
This burrito now making their way into what is 7th, the leader of this main pack. Now, interestingly, if you're in this pack further behind, you want a yellow. But realistically, a yellow's not going to come from these 6 guys. They're realistically not going to be able to wreck each other. When you've got these guys going 4 wide, this is where it's going to happen. So it's kind of a double-edged knife. Like, you've got a side where you need the yellow, but it's going to come from where you are on the racetrack. You know, you're likely to be a part of it.
I guess this giant pack just has to hope that whoever causes the wreck does it at the back of the pack and not at the front.
And with the way they're stacked up as well, if they do go, they'll go big. I think that's a given at Daytona, historically.
Oh, definitely.
Rigel potentially being caught here by Reese Kupski, who's comfortably led since he took the lead of this small pack. These guys are all over the place. That's 4 wide again. Seth Morgan, Will Parrish, Justin Whitmer, and Lotus Disparito. Oh, and there is contact. Still 4 wide into the trial now. Oh, watch out. That was very close.
Morgan.
And he's now given room by Justin Whitmer. Slowly but surely, yeah, these guys are pulling away by, I would say, about half a second a lap on average. These guys 4 wide again. That's Paul Pren Jr. in the 57. Making a big move inside, but he can't get the run. Or can he?
He gets there. Now
Can't
the
hold it.
0 cuts it off.
I don't think you're beating that 0-0, that SSR power, especially at Super Speedway.
Yeah, I'm taking SSR over 57-15 any day of the week.
It's a fairly easy battle there. If it's a boxing match, it's a first round knockout in favour of SSR, really. Northern Billions actually slightly gapped this pack, and it might be a disadvantage. He could easily just kind of get sucked back in and really just fall down in between the lanes at the moment. It's Paul Pren Jr. now getting to the inside of a 0-0. Further ahead, these guys still pulling away. They've caught Rigel, and it's getting a little bit messy. Cupsy's going to be able to go around the outside and clear. So for now, he's going to lead. These are decent laps that he's racking up as the leader.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good run for him so far. Both the full send cars actually keeping it up front, and they've been working well as a team. And
I think this race is going to find another dynamic to it soon, as we have had a few cars actually lose the pack here. Just want to point out Maverick McCulton, Clockman 1, Juan Diaz, and Zachary DeLello losing the pack, and McKenzie and Grigsby also at risk. We're going to get pit stops in about 10 laps time, maybe 10-15 laps time. That's going to be really interesting because, well, when do you go, who do you go with, and how do you, if it's possible at all, to get an advantage on that top 6? Because at the moment, everyone's just riding it out. Like we were saying earlier, if you're in this second pack, you need a yellow, but the yellow's going to come in the pack that you're in. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I don't really see a realistic shot of that top 6 going 4 wide, and if they do, they might be the stupidest people in in the world for that. But yeah, this pack has not gained at all. They've fallen nearly 7 seconds behind the leader. So now they're just hoping that whatever wreck happens, if it happens, it's not a big one that takes out all of them.
McColton down pit road. And
he's coming out.
It looks fairly ordinary. I mean, he's gone a lap down, but that's not a surprise. Selton, a really weird position here in turn 1. They are 4 wide. I think they'll be able to sort it out, however. Yeah, McColton, that looks strategical, but that is early. So I wonder if there was a mechanical issue, but it was fairly minor. They've been able to sort it out. This is 4 wide again. Murdo, there's contact. And they've managed to sort it out.
It seems, despite all this, they've came close a handful of times, but they just don't want to wreck back here.
It's been a much cleaner affair than the Daytona 500 earlier in the season, it has to be said. And it's something I very much welcome, because I believe we saw a red flag and another huge accident within the first 20 laps of the 500, and it really jeopardised the whole field's ability to run in a pack, and it was a very strange race for the most part as a result. And we've not had that here. We've had very good old-fashioned plate racing, and long may it continue. And there are skid marks on the outside line there in turn 4. I wonder if that's related to McColton, and that's why he chose to pit with some slight damage, some slight repairs possibly being done to the right-hand side of that vehicle. You can see them there, and we'll see if we can identify those, and we'll show you a replay when we can. At the moment, all eyes on the racetrack.
Cameron Brennan is now the leader of this second pack here. He's got Riley Spurley behind him, and then Justin Whitmer and Peter Onchak, 2 well-proven winners in USARC, working together to maybe try and put a dent in that now 7.5 second gap.
And this pack is actually planning out a bit itself as well. No 3 wide at all. So these guys nowhere near McColton. Kupski still your leader. It'd be interesting to see actually as well if Wilkinson and Cologne here are actually losing the draft, and that slows the rest of these guys down. And maybe, if they lose this draft, they'll get swallowed up into these guys. What does that mean for this pack here? As Brennan has very much identified himself as leader of this pack, being very comfortable. I mean, he was the outside pole sitter after all, but despite that, the car is not quick enough to kind of pull everyone up to catch up with the top 6 or so.
Yeah, Brennan is a pretty good plate racer. I believe he won at Talladega last season,
yes.
So it'll be interesting to see if maybe him leading the line will lead to some of that gap being erased.
Well, 7.73 at the end of the last lap. As they come to the line now, I imagine it would have gotten worse. Yeah, 8.04.
Yes.
So it's just an advantage to being in a smaller pack. But as long as you're lined up okay, as long as Kupski's led every lap, as far as I know. They're very comfortable just to follow him and pull a gap. I mean, 8 seconds, you're very safe when it comes to the pit window. Or at least you'd like to think you are.
So they're getting a little more riled up. Fran is getting really close with the 40 to a Rimmel. Now he's throwing it to the inside of the 77, but they'll be all clear there. No harm done.
It was very risky there. The 42 of Ben Crouch and Fren. Probably one of the closer moments we've had to an incident. There's Maverick McColton on his own and a few more cars losing the pack. Masui's trying to hang on as well. Maybe at this point, if you're sensing there's going to be trouble, maybe that's a more intentional decision to drop out and just kind of let the chaos unfold in front of you.
Yeah, that's definitely the smart decision of not wanting to get caught up in a wreck that is not really much you're doing.
Maybe that's what DeLello's done, because that is a fast car, that 55. His risk is if they don't wreck at all, and then he's just kind of stranded at the back of the pack. And up front, still no one challenging for the lead on Reese Kupski. But we are approaching pit stop soon, within the next 10 laps for sure. If not, you know, could be as quick as just a few. Just a handful of laps. It's really hard to tell. It depends what the teams want to do strategically. I imagine we won't see any until lap 29, actually, because then you will be able to go to the end on fuel. And that's kind of the key factor here.
Yeah, we're coming up on halfway in just a couple laps, so obviously that thought is in the mind of the crew chiefs atop the box.
Kupski still leading this pack, and might be a bit saddened to see the pit stops come up, because he will have to surrender that lead, and there's no guarantee he will come out or either in a pack or with the lead entirely. So I imagine everyone's going to try and stretch it as long as they can, just so that they're not short for fuel at the end, especially you know, based on what we saw at the Daytona 500. It was fuel mileage, and that's ultimately what handed Christian Vargas the victory.
Yeah, the last thing you want to happen to yourself on the last lap of a Daytona race is you got your foot down on the gas pedal and all of a sudden nothing, and you're falling back. It's the worst feeling you can have on a plate track.
These guys are 3 wide. Oh, and they're catching the 16. And Kupski's going to have an easy run of it, as is teammate Bennington. Looks like RFJ is going to be the one to get held up. And Cologne. And that could really compromise these guys in terms of their gap to the back of the field. They nearly go 4 wide. Rigel certainly looked.
Yeah, that definitely would have been a questionable one by Rigel.
Especially since he's the lapped car in this scenario. McCulton, he's got some slight damage. It will jeopardise these guys' ability to catch back up to the 4. And they are getting a bit close in terms of that margin between close enough to just to get caught in the draft and pull yourself back up, and falling out of the draft entirely. However, given it's a 2-car tandem up front, and then we've got this pack of 6 cars just behind, 2 of which being lapped cars, they should be able to catch back up to the FSR duo up front. But we are now over the halfway point as well, so pit stops should be imminent. I imagine many will be stretching out as long as they can, but regardless, they're going to have to pit soon.
I mean, as we're getting closer to it, you know, that pack is starting to get a little more single file.
I thought you'd be able to see in the behaviour here if there was anyone pitting. Doesn't look like it for now. Murdo making a move for 8th place. Brennan's led the majority of the last 10 laps or so in this pack. But Kupski, yeah, they are all going to catch back up to each other. Kupski's still your leader over teammate Bennington, who's quite content, like the rest of these guys, just to kind of sit in the draft. Oh, here we go. Wilkinson trying to block the 15, and he's going to succeed.
I guess at this point up in this pack of 6, it becomes a battle of track position.
I think we're seeing some pitters this time by. Apologies for the interruption, but I can just see it's Santiago coming down and no one else.
That's definitely an interesting strategy to come down alone at Daytona.
Absolutely. None of the cars off the draft are coming in. McColton's not quick enough to keep up in the draft of the leaders. However, I think this pack's going to disintegrate when these guys pit anyway. We're seeing a lot of shuffling now. People trying to get to the inside if it's their lap to pit. We will find out very shortly. No one in the lead pack pits. And no one else pits on this lap as well. So that makes Santiago's his crew's call all the more bizarre. Is that there he is. And is he going to come out in front of this pack? No, they're going to pass him.
So the risk of a potential LePage avoided on that one is they're getting pretty riled up back here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try and pit right now with these guys kind of free wide deep throughout the pack. And yeah, it looks like they were listening to me because no one pitted on that occasion. Same can be said for the leaders as well. So still, Santiago, the only car to pit on strategy at the moment. We see Masui there caught up by these cars who are off the draft. And this has the potential to get a bit frisky heading into turns 3 and 4 as they come down the back straightaway. And they're going to keep it well behaved for now. No 4 wide at all. Bobak Fox leading a charge on the inside. Awesome Billion now the leader of this pack. And he's just not got the same pace as the SSR cars, and as a result, they are a bit more condensed. And no one, once again, no one pitting in either group. And as the laps tick down, the more bizarre the 07's decision seems.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would get wanting to avoid the chaos because sometimes incidents can happen on pit road, but you want at least 1, 2, or 3 to come down with you as a second pack as I caught the lap car of Maverick McColton.
This could get messy if they're not careful. McColton's going to stay outside, now drop into the middle. They're 4 wide.
They're 4 wide.
And they clean it up. McColton is ever so slightly off the pace. I don't think he's going to be too much of a hindrance for this pack, and they will all regroup. And still, no one pits. Lap 36 of 56. Only 20 to go here. And Santiago is the only car to pit on strategy. They're going to have to do it at some point, and they will be running out of fuel very shortly.
Looks like they're going 4 wide
Yeah,
back there again.
That's not great. Paul Pren Jr. Oh, there they go.
Oh, Pren Jr. He puts Daniel Voiles up into the wall. It collects the 00 of Suleiman Nova, I believe.
Santiago's going to avoid it. And that is the worst case scenario if you're at the front in that lead pack. Because now your gap is 0 to the rest of the field. Did anyone come down before the yellow came out? I wonder. I don't think so. No one came down. Voiles, that's a huge shame. This is probably his best opportunity to start mounting a challenge to get in the chase. But a very minor incident, but it's enough to bring out the caution.
I mean, this is technically best case scenario for that second pack. You know, you're hoping for as small of an incident possible, and it only hindered a couple cars. So most of that second pack still intact after that one.
And, I mean, if you're someone like Roach Rotfield, who led that pack back to the yellow, you have a fair chance of maybe getting the lead here if you play your cards right on pit road, which I imagine we're going to see not everyone come down?
is an odd
Think you're
strategy
crazy if you don't come down.
that I don't see playing out very well.
No, not at all. Bremen, Cologne, who are in the lead pack, staying out. Steelwolf, Sels, Parrish, McColton, who's a lap down. I imagine he'll be waived. Ramashko, Swab, Brennan, Onjack, Crown, Burley's down as well. I believe that was Santiago, who will also need to be waived. But here we go, pit road. The 11's just retired.
I think I heard someone get hit.
I think there was a collision
road.
on pit road. And was it teammates or was it Austin Billion? And there's all sorts stacking up here at the end of pit road. Murdo's going to fall to the back. Your leader off pit road is Reese Kupski. Okay, interesting. Then it's Bennington. Sabalenka on her return to the racetrack. Wilkinson, Freeman, Rigel pitted, Disburito. Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at that. Whatever has happened to Rose Rockfield, he's out of the race though. And they have a plethora of cars staying out.
He was running pretty well.
Yeah, he was in seventh, heading down into pit road. And we'll just see if these guys come down this lap. I don't know why they would. Maybe they've been a bit tactical. A less busy pit road might actually pay dividends come the end of the race. We'll find out.
You know, maybe they didn't want to end up like Roach Rotfield is. We'll see what they do coming off of 4.
They're all staying out. That's interesting.
I think we definitely have some crew chiefs that might need to be drug tested.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the call is there, because they must be running on empty, so we're going to go get a replay of the incident, and then whatever's happened on pit road, and we'll be right back here at Daytona. This is back earlier in the race. Maverick McColton, this is what happened to him. Just heading into turn 3, I think he just gets almost sucked into the wall, gets a bit too close, and that holds up both 555 entries of Mackenzie and DeLello, and it explains why DeLello loses a pack here, because you're going to see as the 16 continues to lose grip through turns 3 and 4, slides out and juts out the wall, and the 55 a little love tap. That is what's called DeLello to lose a pack, and that's what's called McColton to come down pit road. And he's now a lap down and should be waived, but we are awaiting official confirmation from USARC for that.
So as you see, we're coming down the backstretch here. Paul Pren Jr. and Daniel Voiles are battling very close, and Paul Pren Jr. begins to crowd him and runs him straight up into the 00, into the wall, and out of room. A very questionable incident. You see the 00 scrape the 89 of Smith, but very questionable driving from the 57 of Pren Jr. there. As he definitely got a scrape in the wall too, so he didn't get off totally scot-free from that one.
Hello and welcome back to Daytona. We've had an extended yellow due to some oil on track deployed by the number 70, sorry. And during that, we've had some people staying out. Brennan, however, he's out of fuel, and we're about to go back green. And we've still got 2 cars who haven't pitted, and I think they're going to run out of fuel here. Look at Brennan. This is chaos. And these guys aren't formed up properly. I mean...
Definitely an interesting restart about to ensue here.
Yeah, Brennan's not going to make it back.
Cars aren't ready. Someone's not going to make it back. And 2 cars who I don't think have a lot left in the tank, if any, and... Looks like the 05 starting to lay anchor just a little bit on this restart. Kupski dives to the bottom.
Well, now the 05 is in a really difficult position, because if he runs out of fuel there, he can't just get down onto the apron. And he's sinking already.
He's laying anchor on the 4 of Luna Bennington.
He might be coasting, and there might be others as well struggling. In fact, I can see in the back there Oh, the O1's out. It's just a huge strategical oversight by quite a few teams. 00, I don't know if he's out. I think Murdo's out, and he was in the middle of the pack, and it's caused monumental issues. Oh, and there's Brennan on the apron. Oh my god.
It doesn't look. That's not a good spot to be stopped. There comes the 95 and the 9.
Parrish down as well. So
Parrish as well.
I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. They could have come down so much earlier. Those guys nearly hit. Is Brennan's been coded back. I'm so confused. And once again,
Reese Kupski with the huge advantage. Ricky Freeman Jr. in second, Wyatt Wilkinson in third, and a giant gap behind them.
I think with 4 cars, though, it's slightly different. There's Murdo crawling back. Wilkinson's going to go for second. This is suddenly the very same race we had before, and any sort of advantage that Reese Kupski had, leading that smaller pack at the front, has been regained. And we're going to have some chicanes laid out on track. We've got Sells, Parrish, and Finguy, who are all going to provide their own challenges for the rest of the field to negotiate here. I'm just thinking, what is going on in these crew chiefs' head? What is in the air at Daytona? Because so many cars have had fuel issues.
I definitely think somebody put a large
There's
amount
Brennan.
of marijuana into the air.
Here comes Wilkinson for the lead. And ignore Rigel because he's 4 or 5 laps down. It's Wilkinson versus Freeman versus Kupski right now.
No, I wonder how Ricky Freeman Jr. is feeling watching his teammate push another
rival, yeah.
pass. But you also got to think just how big this is for Wyatt Wilkinson, a driver who has fought hard in all of the series of USARC, getting his shot, leading here at Daytona.
Herman falls back into that other pack. These guys are battling with each other. I don't know if that's going to help their drafting abilities, and if these guys can catch up at all. Now is their time whilst they're still fighting. There's a huge gap back, so any chance of us having a large pack have been completely shattered. Brennan's back out a few laps down, as Wilkinson still leads. It's a 3-second gap. I think it's getting bigger, which is quite simply unbelievable. Oh, and there they go.
Fanning out 3 wide in a battle for the lead, and it looks like Ricky Freeman Jr., if he could get to the inside of the 40, is going to be the benefactor
Oh,
here.
they touch. The 64 and the 40 made contact. Kupski shoving Wyatt Wilkinson. These guys aren't drafting with each other like they were before. Bennington leads the charge from this second pack. And then there's a third pack here, which is basically the rest of the field. They're going to catch some lap cars as well, which will actually do this front pack a favour. They have lost time through that second pack. However, I think it might be too little too late with 8 laps remaining.
Freeman Jr. looking on that inside. Now Wilkinson is going to cross him over. Look to the inside of Ricky Freeman Jr. trying to take that lead back again.
Yeah, they're not interested in drafting with one another anymore to keep a gap. They are just all-out racing, going for it, going for the win. And that group here now are definitely closing. But there's lapped cars to contend with as well, and they don't have damage, so they will be up to speed. Gap is under a second, and it will only get closer. Once they get within a certain distance, they will just pull right in like a lasso. Rigel could really jeopardise this if he moves inside of 64. However, I don't think he's got any help. So that's not going to happen. Bennington with Cockman 1 and Blair McKenzie leads the charge. Wilkinson's going to lead. Going to be 6 to go at the line.
And Freeman Jr. is going to go back to the inside looking for that lead as that group behind continues to close
They're here.
under a second. Luna Bennington is back.
Yeah, well within the draft now. And that'll be everyone back to possibly Dustin Strew. This third pack, God bless them. Unless it's a caution, they've got nothing to hold on to now. Here comes Bennington.
Bennington, no
Surely
interest
not
in
full
helping a
wide.
teammate at this late stage in the race, going for the win now. I mean, that's basically all the FSR cars up here.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, Seth Morgan as well. Clockman 1, however, is going to try and change that.
The 42 of Maston Rimmel.
And Miguel's actually been kind of shafted out of this pack. Not necessarily a bad thing given that he's a lapped car. But RFJ has got a mirror full of that Target logo. The number 4 Toyota Camry of Luna Bennington to the inside, the points leader.
Bennington going to the inside, not much immediate help on the bumper, but
Doesn't matter.
Seth Morgan is beginning to close in to try and give help to his teammate.
The lead pack now is fairly sizable. Very few cars going to be fighting for this one. Clockman 1, second in line on the inside. Eyes are on him with 4 laps to go here at Daytona.
And Morgan really isn't able to hold on to it as well. He's a bit all over the place here.
And if there's the yellow now, it's touch and go whether or not we get back going again. Next lap, I think it's almost certain that we wouldn't get back going. So these guys got to be careful. They've got to hope that they can all keep it clean, as here comes Christian Vargas as well.
Vargas didn't like what he saw with the 51. He dives to the inside. He's now see a bit of a Ford brigade on the bottom, as Clockman 1, Christian Vargas, and Luke Evans are all down there.
And I think Clockman 1 has not got the pace that the 4 does. And is a bit of a hindrance now to the 0, to the 10, to Herman Kupski, the cars that can really charge. And here comes Christian Vargas with no help at all. He's going to get underneath the 62. The race is on here for the win at Daytona. We're going to have 2 to go at the line.
And Luna Bennington won the APS Daytona race, I think.
Yes, she did. 2 laps to go.
And Vargas is looking for the Daytona sweep. So here comes Kupski. He's got a teammate behind him, Seth Morgan. Has he gotten those issues sorted?
Oh, slow cars could play a factor here. There goes Kupski inside.
Kupski swings to the inside.
And going ham in front of them. Has Kupski got the momentum? Can Vargas block? No. White flag this time by, and it's going to be an FSR shootout for the win. Can Reese Kupski get his first AutoNation Cup Series win? Oh, this is going to get
come into the
get sketchy.
Soleil Minova in the 00 isn't going to cause issue. White flag in the air. Bennington, Kupski, Morgan in third has fallen back. What have you got?
The closing, and can Bennington catch a draft from the front group? They're going to get blocked here. This could be really interesting.
Kupski looks low. Bennington blocks it.
Ooh.
Sells blocking.
And they're boxed in now. If there's a run coming, Kupski's got to use it when that block from the 05 hits the 4. It's not going to happen.
Coming to the line, it's going to be Luna Bennington, and it's going to be a full send racing 1, 2, 3.
And what a statement that is for Luna Bennington, the championship leader, winning the AutoNation 400 at Daytona. And Ben Crouch as well. What a day for FSR, coming home in 6th as well.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's Maston Rimmel in the 42.
Sorry, Maston Rimmel, yes.
But what a statement for Full Send Racing. I mean, they made these big splash signings when free agency opened, and then they go out and they finish 1, 2, 3, 6 in the first race after. So maybe this is a team you need to watch for in the closing races of the season and coming into next season.
That is a statement made both for this season and the next for Luna Bennington and the whole FSR team. You know what? She had some hard luck at the start of the season. It was either a top 5 or a crash. But she seems to have got that out of her system now. It's win or nothing at all for Luna Bennington. And she really now is quite possibly odds on for the championship. It's it's early to tell, but it was a great run today for that 4-car. Always up front. Never really looked out of place or challenged much when she took the lead late on.
Yeah, it really didn't look like anybody had a shot to get past, except the 40 was out front for the duration of the beginning. But even he couldn't mount a charge at the end, so very great run by those top 2 FSR cars who had rocket ships this race.
And so going through the rest of your results, so obviously the 1, 2, 3, 6 for FSR, it was Lexi Herman and Wyatt Wilkinson rounding off your top 5, Blair McKenzie in 5th, Novak Fox, Christian Vargas and Brian Grigsby rounding off your top 10. Ricky Freeman Jr. faltered to 11th after running up front all day long. Copland won in 12th. Evans in 13th. Riley Spurley-Tube, Zachary DeLello, Peter Onjak, Kazri Sabalenka 17th on her return to the cockpit at the number 77. Juan Diaz, Ali Masui and Justin Whitley, your top 20. Lotus Disburito, Carter Swab, Stephen Cologne 23rd after running up front for a majority of the day. Then it was Anthony Greenman, same boat as Cologne, really. Zavira Mashko, Nicholas Santiago, Dustin Strew, Orson Billion, Eli Stillwolf, and the 89 of Aidan Smith, your top 30. And Paul Crane Jr., Will Parrish, and Roberto Crown Jr., the final cars running on the lead lap. Then it was Daniel Sels, Jeffrey Thin Guy, Katerina Salemanova, Maverick McColton, Benedict Murdo, Cameron Brennan, Jacques Rigel, and then your 2 non-finishers, Roach Rockfield and Daniel Voiles, to complete the running order for today's race. I think overall, incredibly bizarre Daytona race. It was nothing like the day one. The day one was much more chaotic. It's usually the other way around. Some really interesting talking points now. Just 3 races to go before the chase.
Oh yeah, definitely. The action here was on point. I mean, we never really got to see just what this field was like with a full pack. Only really in the opening stage we got to see what it was like. But yeah, just very interesting end to the race. I mean, with the pit strategy and all that. But we'll definitely see how this one will stack up as we head toward the chase cutoff in just a few races.
Yeah, just 3 races to go. The next one being Monterey. And we all know what that means based on Season 1's heroics from Benedict Murdo. It should be a really interesting one. It's a lovely facility and has always produced some fantastic road course racing. It's the final road course before the chase as well, so you've got to be thinking of the likes of Jacques Miguel, Benedict Murdo, Christian Vargas as well. People who maybe want to just really cement their chance of getting in the chase. Rigel needs it after today. Vargas and Murdo touch and go, fairly okay for them, but Rigel especially, all eyes on him for Monterey. That's going to be really interesting. Next up in USARC, we have Mallory Park for the Aaron's Pro Series, the Jet2.com Grand Prix, and nothing can beat a bit of APS racing, especially around a bit of a hybrid. It's not really a roval, it's not an oval though, it's an oval course, if you will, and you'll understand what I mean when we see that circuit. But that's going to be a really fun one. So until then, take care and goodbye.